Hey everyone, it's Laura here from makingartistsum.com, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to do some inlaid die cutting and some watercoloring to create this colorful card. So I'm starting out by applying some dried marigold distress ink to my craft sheet, and then I'm going to temporarily adhere some Canson watercolor paper onto my craft sheet using some adhesive. You could also use some washi tape, but I just decided to use my Tombow mono adhesive this time. I'm adding a lot of water to this watercolor piece or watercolor paper, and then I'm going to add some color on there mixed with a lot of water because I just really want to get the colors moving. I wanted to add a little bit of an extra pop of color on there, so I'm going to add a darker shade of orange. This is the Spiced Marmalade Distress ink, and I'm adding that to that dried marigold ink mixed with a lot of water, and also adding some more of the dried marigold ink. So after I applied all of the water and all of the ink, I'm going to heat set that piece so it can dry. Then I'm going to create a pink panel using picked raspberry distress ink. So I'm adding a lot of water, as you can see, and then also a lot of color because I just really want that to be very bright and bold. So after applying the color, I'm just going to add a little bit more water, and then I can just easily heat set that piece. In total, I did 7 of these watercolor panels, so I didn't got that all on camera, but for the light pink one, I used spun sugar with worn lipstick. Then for the yellow one, I used squeezed lemonade and mustard seed. For the green one, I used shabby shutters and mowed lawn. And then for the mint one, I used cracked pistachio. And for the blue one, I used stumbled glass and peacock feathers. All of these inks are linked in the supply list below, by the way. Next, I'm going to create the rainbow piece, and I'm going to be using some dryer sheets for that. So these dryer sheets have 4 layers, and I'm just going to cut each sheet in 2 so I don't have to waste any of that. The reason why I'm using a dryer sheet is because I am using an intricate die, and this rainbow has 7 arches, and it's just easier to use a dryer sheet than just poking each arch out. So I just put the paper on there, and there's still some adhesive on the back from when I did the watercoloring, so that makes it also very easy. Just die cutting that, and then after I die cut that, I removed the negative piece, and then I'm going to pick each arch and put it on a card to kind of position that already. And because these dies are on the dryer sheet, it's just easy to store or save these other pieces for future projects. Since I'll be doing some inlaid die cutting, I need the negative piece of this rainbow die. So I'm just going to die cut that rainbow from Fawn out of some Nina Solar white cardstock, and this measures 4 1/4 of an inch by 5 1/2, so it's the same size as the note card I will be using. So I die cut that piece, and then I'm going to be using the negative space or the negative piece from that die. So I'm adding a lot of adhesive onto a note card, and that's just where the arches are going to be adhered. And then I'm also going to put some adhesive on the back of that white piece. So just adhering that nicely. And as you can see, we have that sticky part, and it's easy to adhere all of these arches now. So I'm just going to piece those arches in using my tweezers. And see, that just fits perfectly since I die cut the same shape, so the rainbow. You could also just adhere them using regular adhesive, but I like to do this inlaid die cutting because you won't have any dimension, so it will be all one flat piece, and I just really like that about this technique. So I'm adding some glitter using my clear ink of Stella pen onto this rainbow, and as you can see, it gives a really nice shimmery finish. And then I'm going to do some Copic coloring using the So Jelly stamp set from Fawn, which is just simply adorable. I'm going to stamp that onto some Simon's Stamp Ultra Heavyweight cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And now I'm just going to put some music on so you can see the coloring part. So after I colored the images, I die cut them using the coordinating dies. So these are also the So Jelly die cuts from Fawn. And then I'm using some foam adhesive to piece together these images. So I'm just using some foam squares and then I'm cutting them a little bit smaller to fit those dies. I'm also going to be adding the same clear wink of Stella glitter pen on these images so they match the rainbow perfectly. And here I'm just showing off that beautiful glitter again. I just really love this. So here I'm going to heat emboss a greeting. So I'm using the same So Jelly stamp set from Fawn, and I'm going to emboss that onto some Shallows cardstock from Hero Arts using Versamark ink and a beautiful new embossing powder from Wow. This one is called the Long Island Steel embossing powder, and it's a beautiful glitter embossing powder. The main color is teal, but then it also has like these gold glitters in there, so which makes the embossing powder really beautiful and unique. So here you can see it looks even prettier in real life. Then I'm going to adhere that sentiment banner onto the card using some foam adhesive. So I'm adding a strip of foam adhesive. I cut that a little bit smaller, and then I am going to slide that underneath the jellyfish and the starfish. So just sliding that under, and that's why I only added foam adhesive on the bottom of that sentiment piece. So I'm finishing off my card using some sparkling clear sequins, some Pretty Pink Posh, and I'm adhering those using glossy accents, and then I'm also using my EK Success tweezers to position them correctly. And that finishes up the card for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back on Saturday with my 7,000 YouTube subscribers video hop. See you then. Bye!